The sliding filament theory is what happens when a muscle moves. There are 5 phases in this theory.
Phase 1, resting phase. This is when the muscle is not moving and hasn't received any electrical impulses from motor neurons. The first phase is called resting phase. This is when the myosin heads cannot bind to the actin filaments. This is because the actin-myosin binding site is blocked by the tropomyosin. This is held in place by troponin. Troponin and tropomyosin are proteins that are included in the binding process. Troponin is found between the actin and is within the muscle tissue, and tropomyosin is also found there.
Phase 2, excitation phase. In phase 2, the calcium binds to the troponin, changing its shape. The tropomyosin is then pulled out of the binding site. The myosin head can bind, and then it is an actin-myosin cross-bridge.
Phase 3, contraction phase. In this phase, calcium ions break down ATP, which is adenosine triphosphate. This is what creates the movement. After this, the myosin heads pull the actin filament towards the middle. This is one of the main stages, as it is when movement actually occurs.
Phase 4, recharge phase. Phase 4 is the recharge phase in which the free ATP, which stands for adenosine triphosphate, binds to the head, changing its shape. The actin-myosin cross-bridge breaks. Next, the ATP is hydrolyzed and the head returns to its original shape.
Phase 5, relaxation phase. Relaxation phase is the last phase. This is a phase where things start to go back to how they were originally. Once the motor neurons have stopped sending signals, the troponin and tropomyosin start to revert back to their original form. Calcium changes the shape of troponin, allowing it to move up. Tropomyosin then covers and obstructs the active binding site. The muscle is then relaxed and ready for the process to start again.
To recap, this theory only takes place in skeletal muscle because they are the only muscle that gives us physical mobility. It's the reason our muscles can contract and relax.
The first phase is resting phase. This is when the muscle is not moving because the myosin heads can't bind to the actin filaments.
Phase 2 is the excitation phase. In this phase, the actin-myosin cross-bridge is formed and it gets ready for movement.
Contraction phase is phase 3. This is where the ATP is broken down, which creates the movement.
Phase 4 is the recharge phase, in which the actin-myosin cross-bridge breaks. The ATP is hydrolyzed and the head returns to its original shape.
Phase 5 is the last phase. That's the relaxation phase, where everything is going back to how it originally was before the motor neurons sent the messages.